So, if I remember correctly, I'm gonna take this off of my screen. That's gonna drive me nuts otherwise. If I remember right. Yeah, it's up here. Okay. I should get that lookout point at some point, but I'm not worried about it at the moment. So many stairs. Where's
It's a
the
shame that there
ramps?
isn't an Aetherite connection directly from the central plaza to the rostrum, isn't it?
Yeah, real shame. You know, it's just, sometimes people just like to take in the view, you know? Get back into the mindset of where they left off in the story. It's been a little while.
I believe the last time you were here, you were yelling at old men.
Yes. Not at all similar to other times I was here. Alright, Alfie. What's up? Oh, that's right. We offered to make a...
They made a spaceship, and it is functional and can get them to the moon, but the engine isn't fast enough for them to get to the moon and back as many times as they need to take over everything and everyone that they want to. So Alphino, in his wisdom, has made the deal that if you and your party can solve this complex engineering feat that you have only just learned about 20 seconds ago, that the forum will listen to, not grant approval to, but just listen to your proposal for an alternate use to the escape craft.
Yeah, they'd let us use it to chase down Medion and all that.
But that is the story so far for your viewers at home who are honestly just binging these streams so they don't really need it.
It's for me. Okay.
I like how you have to specify. I like you have to specify if Midgard Stormer was alive in the traditional sense, because you can't kill him.
Right? Yeah. That is a nice shot of Alfie in this quest title, their quest thing. Dang. Down we go. I don't think I'll ever get over how much I love the patterning on the floor in here. It's just so pretty.
It's a nice pattern.
Wait, is it this Drayson?
Yep.
Yes. They usually say gatekeep underneath them, so I was like, wait, what? Okay.
The Archaon is the Aetherite Plaza to the east.
Yep. Just want to reacquaint myself with the area.
Hey, Harley.
Hi, Harley. Ready for Labyrinthos Part 2?
Thanks. It was
The
made by the
Orban.
students of Baldesian because they're dumb.
Wait, what? Really?
What? Yeah, so it's not really a spoiler, it's just like a side detail. The students of Baldesian found Ozma and
Mm.
decided, hey, why don't we make another one?
Uh-huh.
And so that's the Ozma mount that you get. Let me see if I can find the description of it.
I'm gonna go make some coffee. Now that
Yeah.
I've got the video going.
After concluding that Ozma of the Weeping City was but a preliminary attempt to weave an ether-based simulacrum of the Eureka phenomenon Proto-Ozma, the students of Baldesian endeavored to apply similar magics in the creation of what they dubbed Demi-Ozma, hoping to learn what makes the entity tick.
My gosh. Alright. Destination lies in the lower levels. Aye, aye, Captain. Oh no. My friend is a warrior now. Time for battle. I have to admit, I am actually kind of excited to come back and do the, like, side quests in this area. This area and, Elvis, for sure. Oh, no. We can talk about it now. Oh, chickened out. It's okay, Fortuno. When you're ready to talk about how your kids have grown and you're proud of them, but you don't know how to say it to their face, let me know. I love this bird. It's so pretty. So, do I have to complete just the main thing, or I have to complete 6.1 to be able to have access to my island?
Just the main scenario.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, they basically go, you know what, Warrior of Light, you've been through a lot and you need a vacation. Please colonize this empty Caribbean island for us.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay.
Weird.
That's not a door. Oh, it is a door.
Oh, hello, everybody. Even the people working down here are probably kept in the dark about the true purpose of this place.
That reminds me, I got my new title.
Oh? Let's see it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me
On
figure
our
out
journey
where
here,
my
I was filled with an inexplicable sense of elation to see vegetables other than carrots being cultivated. Why, it near brought a tear to mine eye. Oh, Ariane.
Andre is so sick of carrots.
We must be close to
Here
the
you go.
central circuit. Oh, nice. Which is where Charlene's greatest secrets are held, if the tomes I perused told the whole story. The fields we passed along the way brought back memories of Ferndale. Unfortunately, we were never blessed with such abundant crops. Is that where he grew up?
Yep, well, it's where he was born.
Hmm. The further underground we go, the more surprises we find. What, like more doors?
Have you done the Dragoon quest?
No, I haven't done Dragoon quests yet.
Because I think that's where you found a little bit of Estinian's backstory from those.
Hmm. Okay. Wonder what this place is actually for. I'm sure Alphino will deign to tell us.
Hi, did you wake up? Time to mute the mic? Yes, it is.
We are to wait here while our father arranges for us to use the next lift. I can't speak all of a sudden. Duh. Here being Logisticon Alpha, where the atmospheric conditions of Labyrinthos are regulated. Water is drawn from underground and disperses as vapor, simulating the formation of artificial clouds and rain. By manipulating the temperament and air circulation, they are able to create the ideal environment for the growth and preservation of the biological samples kept here. Neat. Hold on. How do you know so much about it? Why, Father brought me here as a child. What? And left me behind? Actually, you're the one who left me behind when you went off somewhere with Grandfather. The night before, I'd been asking Father how clouds are made, so he decided to show me. It was fascinating. I peppered him with questions the entire time. It is all too easy to take for granted the many interweaving aspects of the natural world, to grow inured to the wondrous. But having gained an understanding of the complex mechanisms employed by the Loporits in creating a similar environment, I've come to view such processes with a new light. The subterranean gardens of Labyrinthos, the lunar prison forged to contain the ancient zodiac, the habitations built for all mankind beneath the moon's surface, each unique, yet undeniably similar. 'Tis no mere coincidence. There's no way I can even attempt to get his voice. Ever since Heidelin unfolded to us the grim fate that awaits Atheris, every essential resource we could spare has been delivered to Labyrinthos in preparation for the Great Exodus. But that is not all. It is also a testing ground for the technologies that will allow us to settle on distant stars. Though the Loporits have endeavored to make the moon inhabitable, that is not our final destination. Mankind must learn to propagate life where there is none, to thrive where all is barren. Alas, time is not on our side. I have arranged for you all to enter Central Circuit. It is there that most of our preparations for that great exodus are carried out, the construction of the Ark among them. Though our plans have been made public, access remains highly restricted. You, however, will not be subject to said restrictions, and will have free rein to come and go as you please. Such was the will of the Forum, after all. We will prove ourselves worthy of their trust, your trust. Then let us proceed. Fortuno really needs to learn how to use his words. I know he thinks he's a master debater and so smart, but like, by decree of the Forum.
Communication is not his forte.
Yeah. By decree of the Forum, the signs of the Seventh Dawn are permitted to enter the central circuit. Yep, thanks. Alright. This is it, the central circuit. Sure is, buddy. Please tell me we're almost there, or is there another underground level we have to reach? Even more central circuit, perhaps? I'll say. The farther down we travel, the more expansive the sky above becomes, artificial though it is. Would that the heavens elsewhere could be so idyllic. I have no idea what makes Alphino so confident we can solve this problem of theirs. Relentless optimism, I presume. A not unwelcome trait in her youth, but less so in a gambler. Let us resolve to never let him set foot in the gold saucer. Sure thing, Estinian. The temperate environment here is not unlike that of Bestaway's burrow, though the diverse vegetation doth produce a far more complex bouquet of aromas. A welcome difference indeed, for I have grown weary of the scent of carrots. Arianshe, do you have some, like, carrot-based trauma? From just only carrots, all carrots, nothing else but carrots? I imagine the secrets kept here would be of great benefit to mine own research, but I will refrain from indulging my curiosity for the time being. The sooner we can get a look at this ether burner of theirs, the sooner we can start working out how to improve it. Yep. We might finally have the chance to commune directly with Heidelin, provided we somehow manage to succeed where Charlian's finest engineers have failed. Still, it won't hurt to have a look. The ether burner is being constructed not far from here. Overseeing the work is Kakol Dan Kol, after whom the forge is named. Once the necessary introductions have been made, I shall leave you with him to discuss the particulars. This way. Amazing. Okay, we're going... Wait. Okay, there's like a little path down. Got it. I hate to tell you, Alice, but it does continue to go down.
If you stick to the path, you'll be mostly fine from wandering golems.
I suppose that's why it's the path, huh?
This is the way. What it is! It's how we got here.
This is the man we seek. Do not try to startle him. Why would I? Why? Why would I?
Do try not to startle him.
Oh, I see. Perhaps you'd like to break the ice. Yeah, sure.
He's kind of jumpy.
I could swap them out. No, been there, done that. Damn near lost my eyebrows. Think, Coco, think! We'd be well on our way to paradise. Visionaries patting themselves on the backs for their grand accomplishments if you'd only think!
Yes, that does sound rather lovely.
Yeah! I mean, Master Force, you know, what a pleasant surprise. We're not blasting off already, are we?
Schedule remains unchanged, for better or worse. Which is why the Forum has elected to accept assistance in resolving the ether burner conundrum.
Not seen you lot down here before.
There are Archons among their number, but engineering is not their expertise. Nevertheless, the Forum concedes the slim possibility that they may have insights to offer. If not, you are at liberty to return them to the surface. whatever means you see fit.
Rude.
Sassy.
I assure you that won't be necessary. Now, about your troubles with the ether burner.
Aye, I'll walk you through it. Suppose I could do with a change of pace. As the name ought to tell you, the ether burner burns ether, ambient or otherwise, and transforms it into motive force. Think of it like a giant bomb that never stops exploding. Even
Terrifying.
out in that black void where the ether's right sparse, it's strong enough to move our arc. And it probably won't kill you like an actual bomb.
Probably.
But it ain't perfect. According to my calculations, to travel to the moon and back fast enough for the forum's liking, the conversion rate needs to be 6% more efficient. A measly 6%, you say? But if I could have squeezed even another 0.6 out of it, don't you think I'd have built it that way in the first place?
Hast thou consulted with the Loperids?
Yes, they too are conducting their own research, for lack of a ready answer. The moon's propulsion systems are considerable, naturally, yet they are commensurately massive. It is no easy feat to convert their technology into an efficient means of propulsion for a teeny tiny toy boat, as they say, as I most certainly do not.
Yes, exactly! Damn it all, I asked for refined adamantite and they send me uppity rabbits with inscrutable, ancient, incompatible technology! You're trying to drive me mad!
Do you speak of Allegan refined adamantite, perchance?
You know of it?
Only in the most general terms, I'm afraid. 'Twas an alloy of Allegan make, but the secrets of its production were closely guarded. As I recall, the record stated it was vital to Dalamud's construction and launch.
Aye, that's the stuff. No material more conductive far as I know. Slotting some ends like blowing up a dam and watching the river of ether come rushing through. Ain't a living soul that knows how to make it though.
Yeah,
We were
maybe not
fortunate
living,
enough to
but
salvage
what about the
some
dead
for the
ones?
ether burner, just a wee bit, mind, from a chunk of Dalamud that came hurtling into the northern empty during the calamity. With more, well, that extra 6% efficiency would be child's play. It's a crying shame that we've no other sources.
Surely the many shards of Dalamud scattered throughout Eorzea would suffice. Why not get the refined adamantite from them?
Oh, we tried, believe you me. But only a few specialised pieces would have had any in them to begin with.
Are they gonna be like, hey, what about the coils though? That would be kind of cool.
Those are pretty
Prize
freaking
coins,
specialized.
Ragnarok class internment hulks. Those are the prize bits we really need.
Oh, you mean the ones that we went into for the coils? Okay, that is convenient.
According to the gleaners, getting to them means delving deep into the shards. And the defences are still very operational and very eager to blow
The
up.
coils, yeah.
It's rough going in there, even for the cream. Not sure they'd make it out alive.
Want me to go and fetch the water six?
That may be for the best, though you doubtless find the task too dull for your liking.
There are multiple interment hulks in Eorzea alone, so handling this ourselves may not be the most efficient option. Rather, if we could salvage adamantite from the shards simultaneously... Thancred, is the link shell we established before you went to Garlemald still active?
Of course. The floor is yours.
What's all this?
Gathering firewood, so to speak. We alone can accomplish little, but joined
That's a
by
nice
others,
touch.
we may yet build a bonfire to carry us heavensward.
This game.
This is Alphino. The Scions have need of you.
Understood. I will contact the Lord Commander and dispatch our finest at once.
My sisters are somewhat preoccupied with the final days, so I will lead the 12-Sword expedition myself.
Are you aware of any other sources of refined adamantite?
Could go to Az's Law.
Logically, such an invaluable alloy would have been utilized solely where absolutely necessary, in components intended to conduct or collect surpassing amounts of ether.
All of the ether from the Warring Triad.
Any extant instrumentation or devices would have likely found their way into the hands of etherologists or enthusiasts.
Magical artifacts of Allagan design? The Eastern Alliance will send word to one and all. Are there other ways we may offer aid? No shards of the Lesser Moon scar our soil, but our stake in this cause is no less for it.
Hell yeah, Serena.
Is there anything in Othard that might be of use to you?
What did you say? Oh, you got friends in far places, lad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We kinda do.
if you're offering, I wouldn't say no to one of those Far Eastern sacred relics. Some of them can hold enough ether to summon a whole damn primal. Combine a source like that with the ether burner, and 3, 2, 1, kaboom!
I gather you heard his explosive enthusiasm. Might you secure us a suitable relic?
It shall be done. I know little of machines, but I promise we will do our utmost to gather the materials you need to finish your starship.
I can't believe that that's what we're doing. Oh my god.
I am glad for the work, in truth. Better to busy oneself than wait and fret over disasters foretold.
Yeah.
Then why are we all still standing about yapping? There's plunder for the taking. And I'm a born plunderer. I'll be an old Charlian before you know it. Start mixing the grog.
I'm certain that can be arranged. Thank you all, and do be careful.
Just like that.
Aye, just like that. Our refined adamantite is on its way. Now let us consider our next steps, shall we? There's yet much to be done.
Appreciate you doing all this, but I ain't getting my hopes up just yet. Yeah, fair. There are no oaths or contracts binding members of the Ilsebard contingent, and in many ways it was even more loosely organised than the Crystal Braves. Nevertheless, I knew none would refuse this call to arms. Truly, we have been blessed with trustworthy and dependable allies. Well, I'm all for relying on the power of friendship, but we're now left with the rare luxury of having nothing to do. There must be something that requires our attention. What serendipitous irony that the remnants of the seventh umbral calamity would become the keys to mankind's salvation. Never more certain have I been that Master Louis Soir watcheth over us from the ethereal sea. Aww. First the Telophoroi, and now the final days. Huh. No one can accuse the Ilsebard contingent of backing down from a challenge. Of course, they weren't all so committed to the cause when we first set out, but after seeing the example set by you, Alphino, and the others, the change was palpable. They couldn't help but believe. We are the light. Considering how much fuss he made at the time, I don't see why he takes every opportunity to bring it up. It was just firewood. Estinian.
Like, I get that callback, and I don't like it.
I'm confident that even the deadliest of Allegan defensive mechanisms are no match for our allies. At this rate, some of them might soon have as many accomplishments to their names as a certain warrior of light. Time and time again, it seems that Allegan's something or other. Time and time again, it seems that Allegan's something or other are either the cause of or the solution to our problems. To think the self-same material that once launched Dalamud will now be used to help ferry mankind to the moon. There's poetry in that. Yeah, there is.
In Omega's case, it was the cause of and the solution to our problems.
Uh-huh. It's times like these that we're reminded of how famous or infamous Alphino has become. Who'd have thought that he could achieve so much with a single link-pearl conversation? As we're expecting rather a lot of visitors in the near future, I'd best return to the surface and inform the relevant parties. I also have a contact of my own that might be worth a try. Oh, and who might that be? That's for me to know and you to find out. On that note, I leave matters here in your capable hands. Best of luck! Meanwhile, in Aldar, oh boy. They're gonna bust out the anxiety music. No, okay, good.
Our course of action is clear. We must harvest refined adamantite from the shards of Dalamud and procure arcane relics of Allegan make. Summon the best and brightest of our immortal flames and form an expeditionary party at once. Call upon the Sultan Sworn and Brass Blades for support as you must. Papashan, send word to the guilds. We will require the expertise of master artisans if we are to have any hope of identifying and recovering these elusive materials. Theogeis, we have need of your stone torches.
Am I supposed to know who these guys are?
They are to assist the immortal flames in scouring the ruins and to help secure the surrounding areas. I trust I can count on your support.
The Stone Torches are a band of local mercenaries.
Stone Torches, my son Zimberg will personally see it done.
Okay.
You encountered them briefly outside of Copperbell Mines at level 16.
Oh my god.
Lead the raiding party. Assemble your finest, and with Chizona's blade, clear the way. Lord Lolorito, I pray you take charge of the search for Allegan relics. Surely you know of some being traded on open or clandestine markets, or sleeping in collectors' vaults. Of course, I ask not that you do this out of the kindness of your heart. By all means, profit on the transactions. I wish you the joy of it. The final days descend upon our world. If circumstances are truly as dire as they say, Uldar's best efforts may be for naught.
Yeah, I haven't heard that music since the Coils.
Guardians rose from the ashes to rebuild our broken realm. Did we not learn one simple truth?
No.
That which seems all but impossible to overcome alone may yet be possible if we stand together. It was the Scions who united us then, and it is the Scions who call upon us now. Uldar will answer that call. We will summon our courage and join the fight for our world's future. You know your duties. I, Nanamo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, bid you good luck and Godspeed.
Hell yeah. Oh cool, we're gonna get little vignettes of them all preparing their... She looks very much like Sylvia? Celia?
Ciela?
Yeah, Ciela.
We fielded a goodly number, but our ranks are heavy with healers, and an abundance of restorative magics will be of little help in destroying Dalamud's defenses. Still, it has ever been thus with Gridania. We must steel ourselves for a protracted engagement.
No, you don't.
In that case, might I suggest taking us along?
Don't question marks me. That's Lise, baby.
Commander Hext, what are you doing here?
None
Heard
of
the
the
call.
shards in Girabania are big enough to hold an internment hulk. So we said to ourselves, why not lend our neighbours a hand? We thought you might be short on people with a talent for breaking things.
While it pains me to admit it, you are right. Our deficiency is so plain to see.
It might have been a lifetime ago, but I was once one of the scions assigned to the Shroud. I know this forest well. I know your people. And I know we will be stronger if we fight this fight together.
She's really grown as a leader.
Then I will impose upon you with a clear conscience. Come, let us speak of how to integrate our forces.
Also, goddamn, some of those visual updates for the like texture scaling and stuff are doing work for Lise right now. Every time we've seen her face up close in this cutscene,
I won't let it all be for
it's
nothing.
been really good. Yeah, like here.
Papa Limo.
Hell yeah, girl. I know you won't. Ugh. Oh no, he's standing at the grave.
There you are. We've no time to waste, brother. Everyone has already...
Yeah. Yep.
A roar! A dragon's roar!
Fuck yeah, baby. Goddamn Hancock.
And so, in summation, the Eastern Alliance, as well as the Honourable Lord Lolorito himself, reached out to me for assistance in procuring these treasures of the divine, and I, in turn, do beseech the Confederacy for aid.
You know, sometimes it's good to have a fop in your pocket.
True.
Hmm? Is that...
Guardian of the Blue.
Hancock? What a surprise this is. And a fortuitous one at that. I have a favor to ask, you see.
Ayo, Sorbonne. Hey! Is it seriously it's gonna be the Four Lords? Yo! Whoa! No job too small. He's resisting the urge to pat himself on the back. No, go ahead, go. Though our friends are searching for refined adamantite and sacred relics, we will only know if they meet your requirements once they have arrived. In the meantime, is there aught else we might do to be of service? Ha! You've already done more than enough. I had to say, though, could use someone who knows a thing or two about elegant technology. You there, the lad with the red eyes and matching hair. You seem to know more than the average scholar. Yeah. Ha! If only Master Kokol knew how right he was. While he and Graha establish a rapport, why don't we help with the preparations for the Great Exodus? Indeed, this would mean going above and beyond the terms of our arrangement, but I propose this not to curry favour. As confident as I am that we will succeed, we must be ready for every eventuality. This would also be an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the logistics of traversing the great expanse. And if nothing else, it beats twiddling our thumbs while we wait for the adamantite. Agreed. Well, ain't you a bunch of helpful buggers? If you mind to lend a hand, I know where you ought to go. Charlie and Hamlet is lousy with researchers and scholarly types, busying themselves preparing for the Exodus. Pah! That lot needs all the help they can get. Well then, off we go. Apangaha! I shall endeavour to provide Master Kokol with whatever information he should require. Good. This music is dope. It's very exciting. So, my guess is that Vritra went back to talk to Hraesvelgr and let him know what the sitch was, and he's coming to help ferry them to some, like, unknown section of Dalamud. That's what I think the roar was. Do my senses deceive me? In the shadow of yon corner. One can but hope this leadeth not to mischievous undertakings. What? What do you see?
What do your elf eyes see, Urianger?
Right? Oh, you see the Prince Chocobo, huh? As surprised as I was to learn the Forum plan to send everyone to the moon, I can't imagine how the common folk must feel about it. In order to protect the secrets of the Central Circuit, the researchers must navigate a bewildering maze of paperwork before they are permitted to return to the servers. I suppose it's no different than any other aspect of Sharlayan society. We do love our bureaucracy. It's very much a mirror of the city above, which is perhaps how it came to be called Sharlayan Hamlet. What a quaint little settlement this is. A shame it is hidden underground. I don't mind a bit of heavy lifting, but I draw the line at paperwork. So much as wave a sheaf of documents at me and I'll put my lance through it. Attaboy. From what I can tell, a lot of the people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration Scholar Montague mentioned. Let's start by asking around, ideally without getting in anyone's way. 1 second. Let's meet by the 8th right once our work is done. Ready to do chores. Chores to prepare people for the end of the world. You are. Excuse me, ma'am. I couldn't help but notice that you've a way about you that simply screams, I have an affinity for creatures of the wild. And since I'm never wrong about such things, might I trouble you? Okay, quite an assumption. You see, amongst the troops of trolls living in the outer circuit, I came upon one who was sick beyond measure. I took the poor creature in at once and saw him healed, of course. But when I attempted to return him to his rightful home, he flew into a panic, as if he could not bear the thought of going back. To make matters worse, the trolls saw fit to escape into a den of Anelas. I would go after him, but I'm so fumble-footed that I'll scare him off like as not, and be torn limb from limb for my pains by the fiends. So I turn to you. Would you seek out this troll of which I spoke? I shall provide you with his favourite food, and with it you should be able to calm the piteous thing. Hopefully that will be enough to see his senses restored to him and come hurrying back. And, though I shudder to think of it, if any of those fell Analas seek to impede you or pester that troll, make the beasts regret their interference. Oh, and don't worry, you will be rewarded for your efforts. Thank you, vexed veterinarian. Meat. Oh my god. Oh, hello. Are you one of the new helpers? Working on the ether burner? Oh dear. I hear things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I'd choose that over my current duties. Checking and loading samples day in, day out, it's tiring, thankless work. Still, no one will be cross if I misplace a few legumes or what have you. The forum's got enough on their plate as it is. What with deciding who gets to board the Ark and when, a lot of powerful people have opinions on that. My hat goes out to Master Fortuno and the others. Hardly get a moment's rest, I expect. Do they even have time to sleep? That is a good question. Fortuno, are you sleep deprived? Because it would explain your behavior a little bit more. Helping with the Ark. Even with all the power Master Gokul's got, managed to squeeze out of the ether burner, it's still not enough apparently. And now I hear the final days have arrived, horrible creatures running rampant all over. If only we'd begun the exodus sooner. People are dying, and there'll be no end to it if we don't fulfill our duties. But we will. We spent years preparing for this moment. Believe in the plan, and all will be well. Alright. So, like, it's come to the time of executing the plan, and people are floundering at some of the details. Offering to help. That's very kind, but I should be able to organize the rest of the documents by myself. It's mostly lists of the things we'll need once we arrive on the moon, and then whichever star we choose as our new home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so I'll be a lot busier after we depart. I hear our lunar collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I've not even the slightest idea of what they look like. I do hope they're not enormous looming giants. Why, I would much rather prefer something small and fluffy, like that behatted rabbit that ran away. Well, I've got good news for you, ma'am.
I have good news for you, lady.
Mm-hmm. You're about to be very happy. Search for the beheaded rabbit.
Oh good, a slipping way.
It would appear the Lubberets have infiltrated Charleon's most heavily guarded facility. How, I know not.
What a joy to sample the delights of affairs. How marvellous it is to see you again. You'll be pleased to hear I've learned much since our fascinating discussion at the Curatorium. It's all thanks to Urianger, you see. He's taught me the finer points of cooking, which despite my name I knew very little about. So many dishes, so many hard-to-pronounce words. Actually, I was rather hoping he'd show me how to bake an Archon loaf. They're quite popular, I hear, though it doesn't sound like it contains any flavour to speak of. Still, if that's the sort of thing your kind enjoys, I shall make enough to last the whole journey.
So, 1 loaf. Got it.
Please, no.
Crikey, I wasn't expecting to see you here, Ziza.
When you
Yes?
get a chance, do the studium quests for Culinarian. The overarching theme of the Culinarian quest is, how do we make Archon loaf taste good?
Oh my god. Incredible.
I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to say goodbye, and for having those other Lubberets attack you. Terrible misunderstanding that. No need not to worry though, as all have since recovered from the rather savage beating you administered. They bear you no ill will. Well, perhaps a little, on the account of the savagery, but time heals all wounds. Most, anyway. Fancy meeting you here, Ziza. Our friends from the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which is quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. What we're really interested in is Atheris itself, though we now find ourselves in a sort of funny underground miniaturized version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour, but appears they're rather preoccupied. Honestly, all that time to prepare and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around, or at least that's what we were planning to do until we chanced upon Urianger and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about, engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you could show us a few points of interest. Wouldn't that be fun?
I know nothing about this place. Try as
You
he
do know
might.
how to find points of interest.
This is true. Try as he might, Urianger cannot free himself of the Lubberets. A tour of Labyrinthos. An unexpected yet prudent suggestion. Given the similarities betwixt this artificial environment and Bestway's Burrow, it would be our best interest to have the Lubberets acquaint themselves with those conditions deemed optimal by their Charleyan collaborators. I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspectives. Mayhap thou art better suited to lead this venture?
What a marvellous idea. Might we begin with that great big what's-it over yonder?
Ah, yes. The what's-it. I shall leave its explanation to Ziza. Lovely. I love this birding so much, it's so pretty. Oh, okay, that's the... Yum. Oh. Oh, this? I think it's a water tower, but I don't know. The Lubberets' technical expertise doth far outstrip our own. We would be wise to allow them to form their own conclusions as to the function of the various apparatus, rather than offer uninformed suppositions of our own. Unless that is unbeknownst to me, thou art possessed of surpassing knowledge concerning the construction and operation of advanced Charlian, what's it?
Considering singing way and growing way specialties, I expect them to pay full attention to your explanations, which I am sure will be most informative.
My word, what
Magnificent architecture, such immaculate curvature. I'll have to make several adjustments to my work if I'm to match this degree of craftsmanship. I shall leave no corner unrounded.
Oh no, everything's gonna be round.
This is all very intriguing, I'm sure, but where are the food preparation stations? What was your word for it? Kitchens? That reminds me, Puddingway, our newly appointed chief of pudding research, a discipline he himself founded after sampling Oyanche's delights, has gone in search of Atheris' ultimate sweet treat. Well, provided it's a pudding, as that's all he ever talks about these days. Have you seen him?
No, I haven't.
Goodness me, to build something so large without creation magics is positively stupendous. Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important features?
Oh, okay. Got it. I'm pointing at things. Oh, this.
There's an Easter egg hovering around the middle of it, I believe. Oh, you found it. Zoom in.
Ah, Netrosymistoma. Oh. That's so cute. Oh, I'm so happy.
It's a little hard to see from here, but is that golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks? I can see through that window another pipe at the bottom. Ah, this must be for purifying water drawn up from below. Is that water I hear from inside that great big tube? It must be because of those cogs and that giant wheel at the top. Oh, I see. That's how they drop the water. There's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside it, too.
Singing Way, you know a lot about this. Observe the mushroom-like thing.
This is critically important knowledge for singing.
That looks like the trees in Greatest Endsvale. Hold on. It's a bit strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. Now it makes sense. That's where they store the water.
Yep.
Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn from underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it. A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install even in the harshest of environments. For us lawbirds, that is. Indeed. Securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement.
Ugh. I was distracted by my cat.
Indeed. We have read, however, that the people of Atheris sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive?
Areas near waterfalls are common in Garabanya.
So, wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. We can provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear they rely on it far more than we'd anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. It may also be worth learning more about how exactly they obtain their water in the first place.
Why we drink it. Master Alphino spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logisticon Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the Lobberets will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel.
Oh yes, that sounds absolutely splendid.
We must journey beyond the sanctuary of Charlian Hamlet. I shall lead the way.
You mean we're gonna have to brave the untamed wilderness? A valid concern indeed. We could not help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of this settlement. Were we not escorted here by burly custodians, I dread to think what have become of us.
Regrettably, to many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big nasty teeth, Lopperits may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. Might I impose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage to Logisticon Alpha? For my part, I shall act as an escort to Living Way and Cooking Way. I entrust Singing Way and Growing Way to thy care. Sure thing. A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed. I like that it's God's speed, not just God singular.
If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be eaten by some horrid beastie. Come along, Growing The water extrication, was it?
Back to rock! Oh good. Back in the direction of my other side quest.
It's almost as if they planned it that way.
Almost. Oh, I suppose this is a new area. 232 yalms to the southwest. Probably right on the other side of this, but let's do this one first.
Thank you so much. I really hope this water extrication is worth these harrowing experiences. All part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp if it's all the same to you.
Hey. Okay. A ways away. Got it. I'm gonna ignore you. And you. The good times troll. Good lord. Okay. We zoom in on the chair.
Chair's got legs.
Mm-hmm. My friends, I bid you welcome to Logisticon Alpha. Our destination doth lie at the lift's top. Pray, follow me. Wise guides. Wise guys. Haha.
Forgive me for asking, but are we any closer to the kitchens? Come to think of it, why am I even here? Atmospheric manipulators are hardly my area of expertise. Marvelous. Simply marvelous. So this is where the magic, or science rather, takes place. The perfect environment to sustain life, artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. You're all very lucky that Atheris just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out the way they are because of the available resources, I wonder? Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it.
Agriculture shock. Ah.
This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where's the food?
I believe both the knowledge and consumables you seek may be found at Mariel Argonomics. As I imagine Singing Way and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus, wouldst thou be so kind as to escort our visiting culinarian?
Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully, I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Arianshi was telling me about. Even his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose, descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention, Atheris will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there's still time.
Thank you for that cheery reminder.
Let us brook no further delay.
Wait. Oh, okay. When I get there, then speak with them and I would accompany me.
Neat.
It's kind of funny to have this like intense AF music going on while I'm just like guiding bunnies around.
Like touring the farm.
Mm-hmm.
This is the place, yes? The heady aroma was enough to guide me here, and I've spotted several of the fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. I'd dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crop without permission are often caught and put into pies. Perhaps you could ask whoever's in charge if they would be willing to part with a few samples.
Yeah, we can do that.
I suppose if they did put me in a pie, I could just eat my way out. Wait, they get quite hot inside, don't they? On second thought, let's stick to the plan for now.
Is this distracted Arctivist another Tinker current? He is, okay. Oh, dearie me. My sweet Sweetest Shaggles, one of the Archeon's precious samples has fled. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? My apologies. I'm Noelle Tia, an archivist. The Archeon is home to various samples collected all across the star, and one such specimen has just escaped. A young troll, to be specific. Oh, I hope he hasn't been set upon by the local predators. Are you kidding me? It's the same. Alright. Listen, I promise to compensate you. Could you please help me retrieve the specimen? My thanks. I will continue my search in this area. I'd like you to check the 33rd fast. Once you've had a comprehensive look around, please meet me at the Archeon to report your findings. Thanks. I will do that. Hey, can we have some samples? What a fine mess this is. Ah, it's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the exodus. And I'm not the only one. We've all got ways to do. Wait, we've all got to find ways to do what we do here, up there, first on the moon, and then whichever star the Forum decides will be our new home. It's all so sudden, so unreal.
Don't you want to go to the moon?
Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. But no matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. Sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it?
Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We merely wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may.
By all means, help yourself.
Much appreciated, my good fellow. So, where to begin?
He's got a good point, though. Kinda... Thankfully, we're gonna use the ship for something else.
Oh, I know what these are. Grapes, yes?
Wait, are these the grapes?
These grapes got patched out. You can see that these are now medium-res grapes rather than low-res grapes.
Aww. But the low-res grapes are still in the Crystarium.
Yes, they are.
Let's see if they are as delicious as they look. So sweet, so sour. The taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, and yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another. Well, that's certainly given me food for thought in a far less visceral manner than any philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes?
Oh my god.
Did you read the fiction on the website?
I didn't.
There's one where there's a throwaway line about Azim where somebody's like, what the hell is Azim doing right now? Where are they? And they're like, there's an erupting volcano that they went to go stop because they liked the grapes there.
Is that the story that they referenced during MSQ where they're like, hey, Vana, I should tell you the story Hythildea says to Vana when we meet her. Did you hear what Azim did recently? They rushed headlong into a volcano, and Vana was like, oh, I'd love to hear that story.
Yeah, that's the grape story.
I really like the grapes on that island.
Oh my god.
Yeah, once you're done with MSQ, I think just binging the fiction on the website.
Yeah.
I actually, they're doing a reprinting of the book that they did of all the website fiction, and I pre-ordered that for myself.
Good.
I want it.
Yes, they are rather Moorish, aren't they? And from what I've read, quite versatile too. Something about people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, as I recall. Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to the next tree.
I cannot believe that my level 88 quest is talking about grapes.
Orange by name, orange by nature. What came first, the fruit or the colour? Who cares? Let's eat. Yes, that's equal parts sweet and sour as with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Urianger about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter. This is all very complicated, you know? So many flavors, so many choices, and each individual with their own personal preferences. Now I see why you all turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous though they still are in my estimation. Let no one say I said otherwise. But, speaking of carrots, I've yet to sample any of the vegetables. Let's see what's in that field over there.
Hold on, before you go over there, come back here. This interaction occurring in the corner. Do you have it? Oh, you don't have it yet. Okay, it'll show up later. There's some weird shit going on here for me.
Oh boy. I just see a camera by your head.
Yeah, I'm getting the G-post for Harley.
You what?
We got the 2 screenshots I just sent you.
That colour, that texture. Are they some sort of enormous round carrot?
Nope, it's pumpkin.
No. In any case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than the taste. There! It's so hard and flavourless. May as well be chewing a piece of wood. That all but confirms it. These are nothing more than misbegotten failures masquerading as goodly carrots.
Stop. Can't you see these are pumpkins? No one with any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first.
Do you not find that an awful bother?
Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself. And what's more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember.
And perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the orange I sampled. I wonder, though, if there's anything even more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder?
Oh no.
Oh yes!
Yeah,
it's an
by all
orange with
means.
yellow. What's to go wrong?
What a wondrous fragrance! With luck, it'll have a flavor to match. I've no idea if these are eaten. I'll just bite into it. Ooh! My tongue! Is this poison? A lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? How can something so similar to an orange be so revolting? Ugh! Maybe some time before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I had best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others.
Those voices do a number on me. Finished, have you? Trust you found something to your liking?
I'm rather enamored with the grapes and the oranges. Less so the pumpkin, though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. Then there's the lemon, the deceiver. I feel so violated.
First time, was it? I'd hate for you to leave with a bad taste in your mouth in more ways than one, so I'll offer you this lemon muffin I baked. If it doesn't change your opinion, nothing will.
More lemon? Have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spurn this opportunity to... Oof. Bit of sick came up there. Learn more of your inscrutable ways. Very well. Lemon muffin, do your worst.
First time eating a baked good.
This is... delicious!
I can hear your voice cracking now.
I was trying to put a lot of volume behind it, and that, like, high pitch can't do that kind of volume.
Although I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have guessed its vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking.
See? We rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes. And the name is true for many other ingredients. And the same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal, and sometimes that can even be the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the Forum agonized over what was worth preserving, and what will be consigned to history. Hard choices, but make them we must if we're to survive.
Such strength of will. Now I know what Heidelin sees in your kind. Mankind, the Lubberites. We were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fate of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therein lies its folly and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal. It is the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Yet civilizations since time immemorial have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What, then, is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have, and make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins.
Pardon my Eorzean, but what in the seven hells are you on about? And who are you, anyway?
Cooking Way, at your service. I'm here to help prepare for the trip to the moon. And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. But don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of Atheris' species as possible, if you're up to the challenge.
Yes, of course. I look forward to it.
Well, this has all been highly productive, probably. Let's go and see if Oriange and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we?
What's that clicking sound?
Oh, that was me, sorry. I didn't realize my mic would pick that up and Discord wouldn't filter it.
Oh, it brought all of it.
Huh.
Oh, that's like up there. Nah. Back down we go.
Yeah, by the time you get flight in this zone, you're not going to come back to this zone. It'll be fine.
It's really hard making all of the rabbits sound slightly different and remembering which ones sound like what. I feel like towards the end I made that one sound like Cooking Way sound a lot more like Living Way.
Yep. I mean, Living Way and Growing Way are the only two really of, like, distinct voices.
By cooking ways, Broad Grin, I assume your excursion was a roaring success.
Oh, there you are. Have the others finished talking about rain-making Watsets yet? Where have you and Cooking Way been? If the two of you were engaged in pursuits of an educational nature, you should have taken me too. I am the leader, after all.
Uh-huh.
Not to rub it in, but we had the most fantastic time while you were away. Variange was able to obtain all manner of meteorological data for us to pore over. I'll be sure to put my newfound knowledge to use once we return to the moon. It's my duty to make your journey as comfortable as possible, though there's no telling how long it will be. 100 years? 1,000? Probably closer to 5,000, give or take.
What?
It was most enlightening.
Traveling between stars takes a while.
Yeah. It's just, funny to hear it said out loud, you know?
Yeah.
That part was most enlightening, especially the part with the lemon muffin. Actually, I was hoping, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine?
Oodles of noodles. Limsa says home to the Culinarians Guild, and many less than savory establishments.
Would that I had time to visit. The more I learn of Atheris, the more I wish we could spare it from the final days. Alas, Heidelin's orders are to flee, not to resist. If only there was some other way.
Well, I have some words to share with you. Appears to be tallying the Loporits in preparation for an imminent departure. Ziza, I trust thy time at Marial Agronomics did bear fruit. Our own efforts too were rewarded. We now possess an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt our guests' relentless pursuit of knowledge could occupy them and us for a fortnight. Alas, time is of the essence. Let us return to Charlian Hamlet forthwith. I shall gladly attend each and every Loporit there, should further questions within my power to answer arise. Got it. Your words are so hard to read out loud.
Aww.
Yeah.
You are, by the way, 4 quests away from needing to be level 89.
Oh. Okay, well, hopefully 4 quests give me enough experience. It's a gift from the Shroud. There you go.
Wow, rude. Bringing your thick boy in here and sneezing on everyone.
Yeah. Hey, dude.
Look, he's returned. I can't thank you enough.
Oh god, I immediately went to rabbit voice. Can't thank you enough. I know they may not look at your trolls or like intelligence. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Assuming we'll be heading in that direction. The Loporits want for activities and stimulation, but I struggle to conceive of how to busy them whilst we wait.
the matter? Yes, Caesar, that was indeed me verbalizing a sigh to express my emotional state. Do you want to know why? It's because I saw the reconstructed environmental data for Atheris at Logisticon Alpha, that's why. A forest so lovely and so leafy. Are all of your forests like that?
You should see the forest of the first one was purple.
Gasp! Gasp, I say! With a star so wonderful, it comes to no surprise that you're reluctant to leave it behind. I was a fool to think otherwise, to assume that the moon was something worth being proud of. How ridiculous we must seem to you, trying so hard yet achieving so little.
Not at all. Thy works are no less worthy for their uniqueness. I thought I heard tiny voices. Yep, that's what I thought it was. Anchored.
Good call.
How didst thou fare? Oh, I was able to glean a fair bit from the researchers while helping to move their cargo. Preparations have proceeded without interruption here, despite news of the coming end. We have the forum's leadership to thank for that. That doesn't mean people aren't worried, though. Quite the opposite. Knowing disaster could strike at any moment, they hurry to complete their work, equally aware that a single error could be the difference between life and death. We can hardly tell them there's no cause for concern. Perhaps not, though, aided by our goodly growing way, we may yet find other ways to lighten their burden.
Me? Be of use to people? I'm honored that you would think me so capable, but I'm not so sure that I'm up to the challenge.
Nevertheless, I believe in thee.
If you say so, I suppose it can't hurt to try.
I passed someone moping in the Western Plaza that looked to be in need of a helping paw. Might you start? Perhaps you might start with him. 'Tis as good a place as any. Come.
They just need a friendly face.
You'd best go with them. I don't think Urianger misjudged him, but Growing Way does look like he could use some emotional support. I still have work to complete elsewhere. I trust that I won't return to find any loverets in tears. Sure. Oh, can I help you? It is you who would help me. Is my anxiety truly so obvious? A burden shared is a burden eased. Pray, tell us of thy troubles. Those little fellows do look like good listeners. I'm an engineer, you see, and what they say of the ship, that it's the sum of decades of Charlian ingenuity, it's built with peerless Allegan technology, it's all true, but I know that none of that's a guarantee. We've never before launched a starfaring vessel, let alone flown it in the great expanse. All the tests we've run have been on the ground. Only operational personnel and cargo will be aboard for the first voyage. But even so, if it fails us then, what can we do? And if it doesn't, it could fall apart on the next flight, or the one after that. We've done everything we can to prevent that from happening, but it hardly matters. We thought the ether burner's design was flawless too, and look how that turned out. Thou art familiar with these most daunting technologies, and thus dost thou hold the power to allay his fears.
Oh, not sure about that, but, well... Maybe you could tell me if there are any aspects of the ship's design that you're especially worried about.
Our ability to walk about and perform our tasks, for one. I've devised a means by which to employ gravity, a spatio-temporal spell to regulate the environment. But what if it's not strong enough? What if everyone floats away and begins crashing into things as soon as we've left the star?
Ah, gravitation. Maybe I can be of help after all. Up there is not so different from down here, you see. The same rules apply, and if you consider them as a part of one great big cosmos rather than separate places.
Spirited conversation continues. I suspect both parties shall find comfort in this conversation. Yet, if Thancred's tale be true, still others would benefit from insights born of experience. Might I prevail upon the Loporrits to attend them?
An excellent idea, if I do say so myself. There's naught we'd like more than to ease the hearts of the fine people of Aetheris and learn more about them while we're at it.
Full glad am I to hear it. Gather thy companions and bring them hither. Ziza, thou hast a gift for finding souls in need of succor. Pray seek thee out the distressed and the apprehensive, and inform them that help is at hand. I shall await them here, that I might introduce each to a suitable Loporrit. Yeah. Can't have anybody feeling down and desperate, otherwise we'll end up with some crazy shit happening here.
Oh, I do so look forward to that. A place for every Loporrit, and every Loporrit in their place.
Not the ideal place for someone to feel despair, no.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's a big
Luckily,
goal.
Yep, there's a lot of people to find.
8.
Luckily, the Charlayans don't really need to worry about turning into horrible, blasphemous monstrosities because they've already invented Prozac.
I don't think I got that one.
It's a Prozac, the medication for treating like depression and panic attacks and shit.
Oh,
I'm making a joke. It wasn't funny. I'm sorry.
No. I was blanking on what the fuck Prozac was, so I was without context.
Okay.
Hello, do you need help? You are staring at things, so you do not need help. You have a knack for finding people. Yeah, I look for the ones with the thing above their head. You guys don't see that? No.
It's an echo thing.
Mm-hmm. What about in here? Oh, that's closed. This woman is doing better than you are. Good lord. Wait a minute. This person has the same animation and is also using magic to lift a book, same that the other person was doing in Elvis, which is funny to me.
Hey, if you got the animation, I think there might be somebody down this jump.
Oh, yeah?
I swear I remember when I did this quest there was somebody down here.
Oh, yep. Already has the support she needs. So we're looking for single people. Like this one. I hope they like questions.
I hope you like that.
Buddy. Alright, anybody in the main area? Oh yeah. What does capricious mean?
Prone to sudden changes in behavior or mood.
This one is beyond your help. Only sleep can save her now. She started doing the yell dance at me. Oh, Lord. It would be unfortunate for all involved to inflict this man upon the Loporits. Oh, good lord. We can go talk to them and find out what it'll be like. Consult our collaborators. I suppose that would be more effective than sitting here brooding. I'm attempting to calculate how much cargo we can consolidate into fewer trips should the ether burner make our original estimates unfeasible, but there are simply too many variables. I feel as if my brow will turn inside out. But perhaps our lunar associates will have more insight into how much weight constitutes too much weight for our purposes. Thank you for letting me know. Tired Gleaner, and then I'm missing one more. Is anything bothering me? Well, I've been loading cargo for bells now, so my back feels like a void sense plated as a piano. My feet and knees feel as drums and cymbals, too. Seems fine if I need a break. And I already checked over there.
Yeah, exploring every inch of the hamlet can take a while.
Found him.
Especially when they're hidden behind the goddamn shrubbery.
Mm-hmm. Just leave me to my misery. The forum can appoint someone else. I apologize. I simply don't know what to do. How am I supposed to pilot the Ark if I'm already falling apart under the pressure? You know a starship pilot I might speak with? Truly. Yeah. Well, then there's no time to waste. They can help me prepare for this monumental task. Wow, there's still one more? Oh, Jesus, I thought that was 8.
No, because the Gleaner didn't need help. He just needed a break.
Oh, that's right. So I've definitely talked with more than 8 people.
You definitely talked with more than 8 people. The guy who needed his envelope didn't count. The woman who was doing just fine didn't need help. The Lalafell who had all the emotional support she needed didn't need help. None of them counted.
The one
Oh
who
my
can only be
God.
saved by sleep.
Uh-huh. There we go. Unconcerned Gleaner. You probably don't need help, but I'm gonna ask you anyways. Apologies, but I'm awaiting a delivery. Whatever it is will have to wait. Okay. The thing does extend slightly outside here.
Yeah, but they don't mean it.
I'm gonna look anyways. You were right.
I hear an angry baby. I'll be right back.
Oh, found him. By the gods, my chest is tight. Am I dying? Is this what dying feels like? No, you're just having a panic attack. It's okay. The world's ending. Oh, do pardon me. I didn't see you there. There's no cause for concern. I assure you. No cause for concern, even though we may need to depart at any moment. And if the holodesign design buckles under the strain, the entire vessel may explode on launch, claiming countless lives and dooming all mankind. But that's highly unlikely. Yes, highly unlikely. Highly.
Poor guy.
Our visitors can help me triple check for structural flaws, you say? Why, that would be wonderful. I'm breathing more easily already.
Yeah, your first ever panic attack is an experience.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Be like, oh shit, am I dying? Does not help.
What? Do I go on the roof of this place? What the fuck? Oh. Never mind. Behold, Ziza, through thine efforts word hath spread throughout Labyrinthus. Verily, to a greater far number than we anticipated. Livingway doth gather more Loperites as we speak. I shall assign each in accordance with their skills, that new bonds of friendship might be forged. Should greater matters require not thine attentions, watch over them, I prithee. Cool. Yep, I'll do that.
Phew! Oh, finally some rest. Why, I haven't spoken so much in, well, in forever.
Lively, isn't it? The town is abuzz. Everyone eager to meet with our friends from the moon.
Twould behoove you to consult with Sleepingway. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most pertinent.
I'm impressed. Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another. No offense intended, of course.
None taken. After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger. Oh, the conversations we had. He told us all about Atheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial. Look! Every page filled to the margins with knowledge. When I first arrived, I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that were it not for Urianger and his teachings, we'd still be stuck on the moon, gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
What would they think if they could see Urianger now? I dare say they'd be more than a bit surprised. And impressed, no doubt. Master Louis Soir, Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget...
Moonbreeder.
Oh there. Heard there was a visiting expert who we might bother with a few questions. I take it you'd be the one.
Yes, I am.
Oh, is that Moonbreeder's parents?
Wilson and Blovida, Sharlayan's foremost researchers in the field of teleportation magic, and Moonbreeder's parents.
Yeah.
It hath been some time. Tis good to see you in good health.
Likewise, old friend. Blovida and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
I'll say, the nerve. Sending that letter, then running off to the gods know where.
Oh.
Do you have any idea how worried we were?
I'll go back. Urianger.
I'm sorry. 'Twas remiss of me not to deliver the news in person. No, more than that. 'Twas I who...
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind. The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd seen her in years. She made her every choice of her own free will. No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise. Don't blame yourself for her death. Celebrate her life. You know that's what she'd want.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you. Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I truly, truly am. I knew not what to say. Knew not how to express my feelings. The poems and platitudes of wiser men, musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized, and meaningless in the moment.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such grief. Even now, try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know. We always know.
I remember when you were young, how the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others. Our moon didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Urianger, she'd shout, and give them a walloping. No matter how many times we scolded her.
So we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Urianger and the others? She had to mull it over for a while, arms crossed, brow furrowed in intense thought.
But from that day on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read, all to try and understand you that much better. I'm sure it was annoying and exhausting at the time, but she only ever had the best of intentions.
And look at you now, at the center of the crowd. The reason there even is a crowd, having brought these people together. You've no idea how proud we are.
To see the boy, our daughter, trusted and believed in more than anyone, grow into the man she always knew he could be. I can see her in you too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go. So thank you, Urianger, for being who you are.
He thought that they were going to be mad at him.
I think I can feel her too. The truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
Everyone's just out here watching him in this
Breeder.
very personal moment for him.
You could ask the man himself.
Oh, no. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world and its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing. And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
Still wasn't ready for it.
Remind me to invite Urianger for a drink when we have a moment to breathe. We're long overdue for one. We can raise a glass to Moonbreeder.
You had yourself a good ugly cry.
Yeah.
I was so busy asking questions about Theris that I never thought to ask more about Urianger. I'd like to, but where would I begin? Goodness me, I never felt like there was too little time before. There are so many people to talk to, so many things to learn. I assure you that my fellow Lockports are equally excited to have this opportunity. They were humming the whole way here. I spent so long gazing at this star, wondering and hoping. But to be here now, to walk among the people, to be a part of their lives and know that we've made a difference, it's so much more than I ever dreamed.
Oh, you must be one of the Scions, correct? Thank you for caring for my daughter. The time she spent with you all was too short, but I know she was proud to have you as comrades. Urianger is too, I'm sure, and I certainly feel better for knowing he has good friends to look after him. See that he comes home from time to time, will you? The classical Rogadin language isn't so different from the Eorzean. Did you ever wonder why we named our daughter Moon's Bride? When I first held her, the moon was shining silver and full. The whole world seemed to glow. I knew it had chosen her. She would be a beacon of that self-same light. Of course, we later hear our fair share of jokes about how we ought to have gone for sun instead, with how bright and stubborn she was. But fiery as my moonbird was, she was always kind and gentle. Oh, Lisa, be assured that I am fine. I am... It's okay. Full glad I am to see them too, after so very long. Gladder still that it was in your company. As difficult as it was to accept their kindness, it would have been far harder had I faced them alone. Yeah, Jay, about to make me cry again. Stop it. Thou hast my gratitude for lending courage to the Lopperers. Not disposed to rest on their laurels, several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their stations. Some few may still come hither seeking counsel, and so I shall remain to aid them as need be. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you might check in on Alice. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out the west gate. I could go myself, but we both know whose help she's less like to scorn. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing. Until later. Search for Alice. Can't you? There's another. There's two more thingies, so I'm guessing these are going to be in the same direction. What am I to do? Ah, you're that adventurer who helped out the students at Beldesian, aren't you? I suppose it matters not to you, but my son seems to have run away. Not only researchers lived here. Ah, yes. Simply put, my wife and I work at Aporia, and she happened to conceive whilst we were living here in Charlene Hamlet. I assure you we had many sleepless nights wondering if we should quit our jobs and leave Labyrinthos, or entrust the child to a friend of ours who dwells somewhere more suitable. Ultimately, we decided to continue our work whilst raising the child here. After all, our research is focused on the very future that our offspring will inhabit. The issue is, however, that the magic prevents us from revealing anything confidential is too potent to be used on children. Of course, we can't allow the little ones to roam freely, there's no telling what he might impart onto others, so he has spent his entire life thus far within the confines of Charlene Hamlet. We recently had a slight spat with him, and, well, he decided to flee. I imagine me going after him would only make things worse. Could I ask you to talk to him in my stead? I'm sure he'd be much more willing to listen to, anyone other than his parents at this point. Sure. I could do that for you. Thank you. Verpeline, my boy, what a name, is most likely in the closet to the east. I cannot imagine he struck out any further on his own. You're gonna be up the stairs, that's where you're gonna be, yep. You're a gleaner. You're a visitor to Charlene, aren't you? Do you have a worldly look about you? As a gleaner, I too have journeyed far and wide. Tell me, where's the farthest you have ventured? Another world. Is that meant to be in jest? The look on your face tells me you're serious. Aye, you should do nicely. You see, I need a more experienced traveller to say a prayer for me before I leave for Girabanya. If you would do me the honour, the reactor operator by the tower to the south should have a lantern crystal prepared for the purpose. Interesting. A more experienced traveler. Kind of makes me think about the traveler's ward that I have on me from Vana. What? Who are you? Oh my god. Child. Time for this. Actually, I explicitly have time for this.
Yeah, you are specifically trying to waste time right now.
I am not gonna go home so easily. You probably won't believe me either, but I've noticed that all is not right in Labyrinthos. Why don't you try telling me first? Fine, I shall tell you what I've seen. The color of the artificial lights here changed recently. I'm sure most people haven't noticed, but when you spent your whole life here, the difference is like night and day. Even so, no one will take me seriously when I bring it up, all because of my age. I got into a big fight with Father about it. But Labyrinthos is in danger. Who knows what could happen if the artificial sun broke? That's why I can't go home just yet. I need to get to the bottom of this first. Although, I'm scared to venture outside on my own. They say there's countless monsters out there. I don't suppose you would come with me. I could pay you. It's not much, but I do get pocket money from my parents. You don't need to pay me. You don't need to pay me. I thought you were different from the rest, but now you're treating me like a child too. This is a proper deal, alright? You gotta take my money to make it binding. Fine. And it's settled. Thanks for the copper, kid. I'll be back to do your quest chain someday. Oh boy, there's still so much of this zone left. Oh, I see it. No. Didn't want to have to fight you, but I will.
find these barriers they put up between the sections really interesting. They're a lot like Saryu's wall. Why are these boxes squealing? No, I don't mind if you help me with the boxes, but it's far from the most exciting of tasks. Are you sure? Well, I appreciate the assistance. We need to get these to Aporia. Time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be too rough with them. Elfino should be waiting for us when we arrive. I'll see you there.
And that's why the boxes are squealing.
Mm-hmm. Whee! Aw. Hope they don't make me transport more than one, because that would be a little annoying. I don't mind doing it. Kind of like transporting as a mechanic, especially when you have the added danger of enemies. Oh, you're helping with the crates. Wonderful. Put that there with the others. You have my gratitude, but how did you come to be involved in this? Ah, and I suppose I have Thancred to thank as well. If you're wondering why we were tasked with bringing these boxes to Aporia to begin with, so was I. Turns out that this is base of operations of sorts. Those with final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here. Father included, I suspect. That should be everything. You've carried all of that at once. Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh, hush. They're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we finished. Theopaldon is in the courtyard. We can report to him. Why don't you come along? You should get some credit for your assistance, at least. Considering where we are, we might even learn something interesting. I love LSA. Getting there. Talk about Gabe. Hello. Thank you. Keep it right. I keep thinking that I've seen him elsewhere, but I cannot for the life of me remember when. He does look familiar. This must be Theopaldon. Gods, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you? We've brought samples from Charlie and Hamlet, Series 110. The crates are by the entrance. Ah, thank you. I'd expected one of my colleagues, but we are dreadfully short-handed. Just a moment. You are Fortune's children, are you not? Alphino and Alize, at your service. You're well acquainted with father, I take it? Why, we've been friends with your parents since our days of studium. I've been friends with your parents. I remember when you were yay-high waddling hither and thither. Clearly, it's been quite some time since we've met. 'Tis good to see you again, wielding your father's newlist, no less.
You knew our parents when they were young. What were they like? Pray, spare no detail.
I should like nothing more than to regale you. Alas, I am meant to be in charge here, and reams of paperwork want for submission.
We can help with that, in exchange for the sort of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course.
Very well then. There happen to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery, so how about you each take one?
Wait right there.
And they zoom. You will find a forum representative waiting to collect these near the southernmost structure. I hope I haven't kept her waiting too long. Never mind Alphino and Alice, I'm certain they will be back soon enough. Okay. The southernmost. Yeah, there she is.
Are you not one of the scions of the Seventh Dawn? Thought you were meant to be working on the Ether Burner. Leopoldin's paperwork, I was beginning to worry he had misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents to my hands at least. As for your other task, pray, keep this between us, but I sincerely hope you scions succeed. This exodus is, without a doubt, the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and so we must be circumspect in all respects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlian has ever been a nation of the curious. It would be a tragedy indeed if we were the ones to stymie your pursuit of truth.
I like her. Quick and efficient. I dare say you have a talent for this work. The twins' papers only needed to be delivered elsewhere in the facility, so they should be returning any moment.
We return, not with a scrap of paperwork remaining on our persons, you will note.
You both have my thanks, and my apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes and...
That is quite enough of that, thank you. It was compromising stories of our parents we asked to hear, to reiterate.
Of course, of course. I've known your father for so long, I must have something. Well, as you know, part of why the Levier name garners such respect in Charlian is your family's storied history. You too can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard Nuncreif's Hope, a lineage few can claim.
I've never thought much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation. They were simply there when it happened.
Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. It is why Nuncreif's pronouncement, "Renounce the ways of war, and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason," has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, eh? Archon Louisoix looked not to Nuncreif's word, but his deeds. He asserted, in defiance of his peers, that choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides was the true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy and the fall of civilizations that led him to conclude that to eschew conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to its doom. There will ever be conflict, and calamity will follow. Thus, to ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Remember his words well. Indeed, Archon Louisoix lived by that personal creed, and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Charlian or no. No one loved and admired your grandfather more than his son. Yet, Fourcheneau could not reconcile Louisoix's deeds with the philosophy of their forebears and his peers, a philosophy in which he believed so fervently, yet made a pariah of his father. Fourcheneau agonized over this contradiction for much of his life. Gods, father. A son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? Gods, no. Fourcheneau's a cranky old goat. I'm sure you butt heads often enough. Yet, even so, you must know that you are constantly in his thoughts. Every moment of every day, and that is not an exaggeration in the slightest. You should have seen him when you were born. Barely recognizable he was, with a kind of dumbfounded grin I had not seen since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. But he's also frustratingly single-minded. Once he's decided that a given action is for the best, he will stay the course, no matter who or what opposes him. A profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other end of it, as I'm sure you will agree. I'll say. Thank you for your insight. When next we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Try not to get me into too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. I have to make sure those specimens you brought made it to their proper places, or the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. Aww. Hey, you three. Oh. Graha, surely Coco hasn't driven you out of the forge already? For better or for worse, no. However, he has set me a task that requires more than my single pair of hands, and here you are. I could use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Unfortunately, Alice and I have prior commitments, and we have delayed too long as it is. What about you, Caesar? Can you spare the time? Yeah. I sure can. Perfect. This shouldn't take long. Much as I'd like to press Theopoldin for more revealing tidbits, we should be getting back to our tasks. It is strange to hear Father spoken of in such a way, but I suppose he would find your view of me no less odd. In the event that our, and I quote, promised heap of adamantite falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap, Master Coco wishes to be ready to put the proverbial hammer to anvil at a moment's notice. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames in Coco's forge to burn hotter. He sent me to increase the amount of ether being funneled to his furnaces. The flow of fire-aspected ether in Labyrinthos is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, to which I have borrowed the key. The adjustment will require 2 people to carry out safely, but I can explain the process when we arrive. This is where we part, then. We'll see you in Charlian Hamlet once the adamantite arrives, if not before. This way, then. I'm gonna pause for one quick second just to run upstairs and fill my water bottle.
Sure thing. How many Aether Currents do you have left, by the way?
That's a good question. I grabbed the cookies. I'm trying to, like, use my controller and hold my cookie. Um... Three from Quest, which I have 2 in my log right now.
Yeah, and the last one will be main scenario.
Mm-hmm. Do you think I should go back and get those other ones right now?
Eh.
Hmm.
Those, I mean, you're not doing one of them anyway because it's all the way back up in the outer circuit, so...
Yeah. Alright. Apparently my mom tried to call 10 minutes ago.
Oh.
I expect this to... When I do, I've got a large amount of water-aspected ether will issue from the vent at the top. I expect this to attract at least a few elementals, which we would both rather not be drawn into the reactor itself. Trust me. Can I ask that you put down any that draw too near? They'll pose you a little trouble, I'm sure. They'll pose you little trouble, I assure. Wait here, if you would. I'm ready for Monster Rush. Oh, again. Got it. Did everything go smoothly out here? Yes, it did. I thought as much. No major complications to speak of inside either. And the water ether appears to be venting properly. I expect Coco will have seen a difference in his forge flames by the time I return. Since I have you, there was another matter I thought to discuss with you. Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I shared with everything, yet you, and only you, have been to help us. As we have established, refined adamantium and adamantite is a product of Alec, of the Empire's twilight years, in fact. It was a material which saw much use as part of the Elegant's efforts to extend beyond the bounds of this world, Delamerd, of course, being the most prominent. Of those who would push further, expand Alec's empire to encompass the heavens and the stars above, perhaps the greatest was its infamous technologist, Amon. Amon wanted to travel the Sea of Stars. He did. He must have had his own reasons, however, for there is no evidence to suggest that he retained memories of his life as an ancient. He only joined the Asians once the Empire was all but dust, as you know. If not for his memory, though, what drove him to pursue the idea with such fervor? This may seem far-fetched, but what if souls, like minds, have personality, so to speak, a natural disposition towards which they are inclined? We know with relative certainty that it was the gross decadence and inexorable decline of Alig that moved Aemon to resurrect Emperor Zonde. The Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those they deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their hearts. In facilitating Zonde's return, Aemon provided these languid souls with the means to free themselves from the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, had not Zonde been convinced by his own death that life itself was meaningless. Aemon's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be a means to the same end, to instill the people with new purpose. Like Hermes before him, Aemon was appalled by how those around him lived, but could never bring himself to believe that those lives were devoid of meaning. And both of them sought that meaning that hope in the distant stars. Such is my theory, anyways. Ultimately, it is the consequences of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment, and yet, to reach those stars on wings of adamantite, to travel to the ends of creation and beyond, the promise of hope everlasting. That much I do understand. But enough musing for now. Why don't we see how Kakol is getting on? Alright, finish the loop.
Oh, I saw the Aether Current. It's on the
Yes, you
ridge.
did. Ow. Don't do that. I'm soft.
I got it. Itchy so bad. I wish I so bad.
Alright. Just like that, he yawns to the northeast. Did I seriously go right past it like a bunch of times?
No, because he never came this way.
Oh, you're right.
We entered the forge from the north and left from the north, and this is just south of it.
I did thoroughly brief Kakol on refined adamantite's history. I only volunteered to go to the reactor because I was finished and there was little else to do. Hopefully that dispels any misapprehensions that I was kicked out for prattling on. What was this guy's accent like?
Very gruff.
Mm-hmm. Whew! I could feel those flames a-blazing from here.
He wasn't Southern. I'll tell you that much. Like gruff Englishmen.
Yeah, I knew it was, but I couldn't think of any other accent for that sentence, and that was just fun to do.
Woo-wee!
Woo-wee! We're going to the moon, cowboy! Glad you found someone. I can't fucking not. Oh, god damn it, Graha, but there's not much left for you. A lot to do. Unless you can conjure up that refined adamantite any faster. Hey. I do trust you to deliver on your promise, I do. Only. I hate waiting! I want that adamantite and I want it now. We, share your impatience, I assure you. Is there truly nothing else we can assist with in the meantime? I wish. This sitting about is unbearable. Pity the forum frowns on recreational explosions. Well, so long as they can't prove it was premeditated, get you gone, I got mistakes to make. In that case, I suppose I should go and return the key to the reactor. I'll have one more look on to make sure that nothing has gone wrong, unintentionally or otherwise. I'm certain I better use this for your time, however. I will join you in Charlie and Hamlet anon. Okay.
Last Aether Current on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you can do that Aether Current quest. It's now en route.
Mm-hmm.
Took the long way to get to that lantern, but got there in the end.
Hey, he wanted an experienced traveler, okay? I am experienced at taking the longest path.
And checking your compass every 10 yalms.
I could do it even less. And you have the crystal. I hope it does some good for that gleaner. Those folks sleep all the luck they can get. Lanterns light the way through the darkness, a tool which can mean the difference between life and death. They are synonymous with safe passage and such. It has become custom in recent days to imbue the crystals inside with the prayers of a more seasoned traveller. And today, that traveller is you. Simply face the crystal and pray for the safety of the traveller to be, if you will. Oh. Made it sound like it was, like, inside the building.
I'm in the box.
Yeah, I guess. A colleague recently told me about the power of Akasha. A concept taught in Razadhan and how it reacts to strong emotion. I wonder if this method of praying to a crystal is a manifestation of that power. Well, that should about do it. With luck, your prayers will help guide the gleaner safely through the perils of his journey. You tell me that I'm manipulating the dynamis? My god. Why are you taking a shortcut? I can't reach up there. Gosh darn blasted.
Because Cube.
Ah, fuck your cube.
All hail Cube.
Fuck your cube. I got baby Dargan. Basically.
You must pay your respects to Cube. Suffer consequences.
Do you have a lantern crystal for me? You have my thanks. With your prayer fueling its light, I have faith that it will keep me safe until my return. And now I depart for Girabanya. I hope your travels are successful as well as mine. I like the idea that maybe that maybe we can start manipulating the Dynamis. And like having Dynamis imbued crystals. That'd be kinda cool. Right here, your companions are bound to turn up sooner or later.
Do manipulate Dynamis just unknowingly.
Mm-hmm.
Also, as they've been redoing the main scenario to make it more single-player friendly, they've been putting in moments of people breaking their limits to survive amazing odds.
Yep.
All set, I take it?
Oh good, my voice needed a break.
We finished what we could. Delivered supplies, tracked down escaped animals. Trivial tasks as they may be.
That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself.
The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the ether burner, that is.
Ah, had a feeling we might find you all here.
Our consultations with the Loperates, too, have run their course. Pleased I am to say that our researchers' concerns have for the most part been allayed, though some insist on making adjustments to the very end. For their part, Livingway and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep the people company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered.
All that remains is to wait for the refined adamantite.
Alphino, are you there? It's me, Cryo. Your special delivery has arrived. Round up everyone and come to the harbor at once.
Speak of the devil. Let us go at once.
Forgive the intrusion, Master Fortuner. I bring urgent news. A great commotion has broken out in Scholar's Harbor. Your presence is requested, with all speed.
It's a good commotion, though. Right? Please?
Now, where might this delivery be? Oh.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
I'm sure it's very important, but we cannot accept these without the proper permits.
By the 12! Surely, these can't all be.
Yeah, there's still more. Oh my god. Yo!
Bleeding hellfire! They're bringing them by sea and by air. All these folks in these crates.
Yeah. Turns out when you make friends all over the world.
And more on the way. Got your adamantite right here. A bigger haul than any of these sorry bastards brought, and that's no lie.
Oh, Sicard.
Yes, because you were charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar here, along with your own. Give credit where credit is due.
You
Sounds
tell
like
him,
the
man, away.
sorry whinging of a sore loser. An hypocrite to boot. Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps inside a Dalaman shard.
I'll have you know I went all the way to the entrance. Furthermore, 'twas my contacts that enabled us to enlist the cooperation
All the way
of
to
the
the
Sky
entrance.
Left you outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due. You did a right fine job sitting on your ass.
You guys are amusing to watch and all, but oh my gosh.
My, what a grand welcome party. Hancock and Saraban.
This has the same vibe and energy as the like first Super Smash Bros. Ultimate reveal where they're like, everyone's back. Everyone you know and love, everyone you've ever met, everyone you've ever thought of playing. They're in this fucking game.
'Twas passing fortunate that Senri's dango craving brought us to Kugane. We arrived precisely as Hancock was making his arrangements.
Oh my god.
Upon learning of your need, we made haste back to Hell's Lid, with our dango, never fear, and consulted with the other auspices. All consented to the lending of Tenzin's legendary Phoenix Blade for this
yeah,
noble
that's so
cause.
cool.
Suzaku and Seiryu were nevertheless worried that it might be lost in transit, however, and insisted upon accompanying me to Onakol, where I had intended to entrust it to our Confederate allies. I thought instead to give it over to Hancock when we chanced to cross paths yet again. But alas, Seiryu remained ill at ease, and ordered me see the blade into your hands personally, or die trying.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We did, of course, need quite the impressive vessel to get it all here in time.
Yep.
Fortunately, our majestic associates have been more than helpful. 'Tis an honor to join the Warrior of Light on another adventure, they tell me.
That is all wonderful to hear, but what of the extraordinary cost? I shudder to think of the ransom we must pay for such a bounty.
Fret not for your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolorito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenar Trading Company went to some lengths to reduce the financial liability.
Yeah.
And since the Scions funded the entire venture, not a gill need be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours.
Oh.
We funded the venture? When?
Don't let the name fool you. This coin keeper knows a thing or two about spending.
Tataru.
When it comes to capital investiture, a sprinkling of gil here and there will not do. You need enough savings to make waves when it really counts, which is why frugality is paramount. We also have the benefit of a generous patron. Generous being rather an understatement.
Oh?
She has supported us from the shadows since the very founding of the Scions. We even had coffers to fill.
Oh my god. Really? That's so good.
Millions.
I remain, of course, an entirely neutral party. I simply thought our family's coffers were needlessly full. We can hardly take them with us on your teeny-tiny toy boat, now can we? And would be a shame to leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent.
Incredible.
So I funded my own personal paramilitary
Waste not.
organization.
Does that mean that Tataru's been talking to her from the very beginning?
Yep.
That's incredible.
However did you manage so much in so short a time, though? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies.
Did I not tell you I have my ways?
The Gleaners.
You were involved too.
I received a letter from Cryle after we parted ways in Labyrinthos.
She explained what the Scions were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the services of the Gleaners, spread across the world as we are. I pray you do not interpret this as a betrayal of Charlotte. I accept that the Forum's aim in pushing us to our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know. That is why I chose to help the Scions, to combat the obliteration of those countless undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters. Though, rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed. To make a long story short, the whole of the guild ship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide.
Yo, that's cool. Oh, it's Sid! Oh my god, it's everybody.
What's this?
Everyone
about a
is
ship that
here.
can fly to the moon? And why didn't you mention it sooner? The one time you don't beg my aid, your problem's a bloody ship that can fly to the moon.
Sid, you brought the team.
Of course. Garland Ironworks' finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship.
Nero.
Hey, Alpha.
Oh,
Hey,
I nearly
Alpha.
forgot. We stopped by Whirlit before coming here and picked up a package from Gaius. He's still of the mind that actions make for better penance than words, contrite or otherwise, so we offer none of the latter.
My gosh.
What he sent is an Allegan relic Valens used in his weapons experiments. Has a fair bit of refined adamantite in it too.
Hell yeah. I'm sure it does. Does that mean we can finally dismantle the G warrior?
We've also brought adamantite for Mordona's Dalamud shard. I admit to some consternation upon first receiving Kryl's message. So few Scions remain at the Rising Stones now. Far too few for such an expedition. However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements. Idleshire's treasure hunters, not least among them. I know. How the Gobbyflock fought. Slowfix's gratitude for the safe return of his daughter has not waned, and he gathered his kin to our side with an astounding quickness. The clash between their machina and the Allegan defences was a sight to behold. I wager
Yo.
even you would have been impressed by the magnitude of the gobby booms.
Gubby booms.
Fascinating as all this is, I fail to see how it explains your presence here. Does Razat Han not have more pressing concerns?
We do. Yet averting the final days would be the most expedient solution. That, and I am indebted to you. Though they chose to take their leave of Thavnair, those you saved in Galimund remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. 'Tis appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in the doing we bring salvation to others of this star, so much the better. You will recall that I spoke of my father, Midgard Summer, and his journey across the great expanse. As he traveled betwixt the stars, his resplendent scales drank of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength to persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out
Oh, that's
to my
what the roar
kin for
was.
consent. Ajdaya's answer was silence, as ever. Tiamat and Hrisvelgre, however, responded favorably to the suggestion. My sire, too, stirred from his slumber long enough to speak and say, "Very well." Thus have I brought you his own worm scales. Fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for us all.
God damn. Yo.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales. So I invited myself.
Fuck me, this is so unbelievable. I've gone right back round to believing it again.
Okay.
Forget a 6% gain in efficiency. With all these goodies, we could get 7, no, 10, no, 14 bleeding percent. Think of how far we could go. What we could do with that much power. What we could blow up.
All Lalafels have a penchant for
If Kokol
destruction.
is duly convinced, then it must be true. In which case, the Scion's end of the bargain has been fulfilled.
You will never convince me they're not gnomes.
Worse, they're toddlers.
Yes, Father?
I know not what you seek of Hydaelyn, nor for what purpose you would take command of our ship. Yet this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature, in their magnitude and their fragility. Do you understand? And are you prepared?
We have seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world. And so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we are prepared to bear this burden.
Then I will bear it with you.
God damn.
I beg you, share your struggles with me. As family. You grasped my fingers with such tiny hands the day you were born. I thought my heart might burst. 'Twas love and happiness beyond expression. Overwhelming, and a conviction so powerful that I trembled with something close to rage. I had heard the final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them steal your futures. The great exodus would succeed, must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the alternative. If anything gave me pause, 'twas mine own father. The Archon Louisois openly decried Charlian's policies, a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I grew older. Yet even as part of me thought him a fool, perhaps I also hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children. A naive hope, but stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep you apart. No, that was his doing. perished at Cartano. As we pulled that twisted slab of Dalamud from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never again to suffer any interference in my mission to protect you. No matter that you yourselves wished otherwise. Detest me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it, and more, and be satisfied so long as I could force you onto the ship. I was wrong. You two have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. You have earned the right to walk your own path, and already begun to do so.
Good. Because there are things we care about, and people we love, and none of them is replaceable. Not a one.
It cannot have been an easy journey for you to have come so far.
We shall be glad to acquaint you with the finer details someday, once this danger has passed. All that we have seen and heard, that we have felt and learned in our travels.
See,
Ours
hear,
is not a kind world,
feel,
but
think.
it is beautiful. Always.
Oh no. Are you quite sure that's wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures.
Oh, I love her.
Whatever will happen if he learns what you were really up to?
Millions.
I'm sure he feels so much better getting all that off his chest.
I owe you an apology as well.
Oh yeah.
I assumed that it was the Scion's influence that made them so keen to charge headlong into danger.
Turns out it was my dad's.
Yours, in particular.
I love how most of us still have our arms crossed, like, you've yet to convince us.
Together with the many fine people gathered here today. In which case, I hope you continue to guide them.
I will, for sure.
If we've finished loitering about the harbour, might I suggest we put our plans into motion? People are beginning to look confused.
Perhaps you can spare a
Exarch
few words
instincts
ere they
coming
resume
back.
the tedious lugging of cargo. You have no small number of friends and admirers here, after all.
Oh, I suppose.
Speech, speech, speech.
Oh my gosh.
Your assistance is appreciated. Now, in an orderly fashion, if you please.
Does this mean I get to tell the forum that I went back in time? Tataru.
Maybe. So if it wasn't already obvious, you get different dialogue depending on which side quests you have completed through the entire game.
That's so cool.
So you were actually missing 2 pieces of dialogue
Oh, really?
because
Do
you
tell.
never completed Eureka or Bosja.
Oh, Interesting. Heck. My throat hurts from directing so many people to Labyrinthos, but that only proves we got our money's worth. Always about money. I apologize for not informing you earlier of Ehrenvel's involvement. He was something of a contingency plan. Thank goodness we had him and his fellow gleaners to hand, though. It would have been monstrously difficult to locate Sid and transport the Hanish delegation here otherwise. I had no idea how massive a weight it was until he lifted it off my shoulders. But more importantly, his words were an affirmation that the path we walk is the right one. Part of me might have been satisfied so long as my family and friends survived the final days, but to save this star is what we all want most. And if those same people believe that I can help see it done, who am I to say otherwise? Come what may, I will fight for this world of ours until the very end. That last sentence she said is exactly what she shouted at Emmett when she was trying to fight back. She was the first one to, like, jump at him at the end of 5-0. I cannot wait to see what our friends from the Ironworks do with the ship. Unaided, we scions could have never gathered such a bounty. Refined adamantite, relics secret and ancient alike. I find myself quite overcome. Yeah, it's really cool. Lise sent a letter along with Gridania's contribution. Seems she traveled there to aid their adamantite recovery. Evidently, journeying to Gridania was quite the trial, as was getting into the Delamant Shard, as was reaching its depths. I suspect she will have a few kind words to say. She will have few kind words to say about the Alligans when next we meet. Time has come to claim our prize. Are you prepared? If I never see another crate again, it will be too soon. Hey, you used to be a DAC kid in Limsa Lominsa, alright? You've seen lots of crates in your life. We finally managed to clear the harbor, which means the rest is in the engineer's capable hands. Meanwhile, Father has issued to us an invitation. As was agreed, he will reveal the means by which Heidelin may be contacted. We are to meet him at Aporia when we're ready. Given the vital knowledge she holds, I suggest we leave without delay. It transpires, however, that the Forum's method for speaking with her is not without risks. I am curious to hear what those might entail, but regardless, be warned.
Most of those who arrived with the adamantite have offered to stay and see to any remaining tasks that need doing. The Forum has already asked for my assistance in overseeing the process, so you needn't worry about a thing.
Thank you, Tatara. We're off to Aporia then. Love that she still waves us off. Cute. Alright, I'm relying on you guys to tell me when is the leave off point.
You'll know when it is because the quest name will tell you.
Alright. Bonds of Adamant type. Ziza, I've already shown the others inside. You will want to speak with Clarelane. Clarelane. She has the key to the lift and can send you down after me. Wait a second. Oh shit, we're going like into the center proper. Ayo. Oh, this is where he was in that cutscene. Neat. Clarelane. Lord Master Portioner, yes? Just step inside the lift here. Yes, I will descend to further lower levels. From here, we proceed into the heart of Labyrinthos in its most closely guarded secret. Thaumazian marks the beginning and end of our efforts, whence we delve to seek an audience with the star, and whence we will embark on our journey into the heavens. This way, if you please. Yo. Oh boy. Circle door. Oh, yeah, the whole thing was gonna open. I thought it was just gonna open the circle part in the middle. That's fun. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yo. Yo. That's like a proper fucking spaceship. It's also not as big as I thought it would be.
You're very far away from it.
Oh. Oh, it's auto-advancing. Stop. As you can see, it was designed as a medium-sized craft, the better to reduce fuel consumption. Miniaturizing magics have been applied to its interior to ensure the thrust-to-weight ratio does not place too great a limitation on its freight capacity. The ether burner, as you know, has been removed for further modification, but we shall reattach it soon. I have received word that Coco and several of your allies are working on it with an intense fervor. They are sure to see it done. 'Twas by their expertise that many a prior disaster was averted. If anything, I fear they will not afford us much time for speaking with Heidelin ere they finish. Point taken. Let us move on. I must warn you again, however, that even with the benefit of our device, to treat with her is not a simple feat. It's all these people to talk to. Okay. To think how many generations labored for this end, that we may aim higher still. We must spare no preparation, and that means speaking with Heidelin, no matter the cost. I can well imagine the zeal with which they're working on the ether banner, and all I can say is that I'm glad we have something to do other than get in their way. Once it's ready, we'll see that the ship is put to good use. Meeting Heidelin proves difficult even for the Forum, then perhaps I... Oh, 'tis an unformed idea at this phase, I'm afraid. I will duly inform you if anything comes of it. We must learn of Heidelin's greater plan. We can only hope that she also knows the current location of Meteor. And we can do neither if we do not focus on whatever trial awaits us within. Uh-huh, trial you say. You feel it too, don't you? The ship is impressive, but it pales in comparison to the vast primordial power beneath our feet. It would seem enchantments most advanced have been woven into the ship's very bones. Wolfson and Bloida were doubtless called upon for their expertise in teleportation magics. It was the Allegans who first combined the mechanical and ethereal sciences into a revolutionary discipline. Given that this ship is nothing short of a technological marvel in that precise vein, Allegan salvage should suit it well. I doubt this is what Ehrenfeld meant when he said there remains much we do not know, but I still can't believe that everything was hidden underneath the city this entire time. Alright, Forshno. I have done what I can to impress upon you the gravity of what lies ahead. Are you prepared? I am. Apparently I'm not.
Well, I think now is a great time to cut your recording for a break and do a leveling roulette.
I think that's a great idea.